Hey, I'm late, 7 minutes late to my own live stream today. The good news is that I was just on a really good, customer development call, learning from somebody who's done a lot of work in the startup space and trying to learn as much as I can about the fears and frustrations of startup CEOs as it relates to the sales process. So that's why I was late. So I'm not saying it's an excuse. It's just my reason for being late. So stuff that I'm working on today, it's been interesting. So it's Thursday, and I am now into my fourth day in my new schedule that I set forth for myself starting this year. That schedule being with a focus on certain types of marketing activity, um, focus on client work, focus on converting people from the marketing side to becoming clients. And I over the last 2 days, last 3 days, I've received three different messages from three different people, totally randomly. That I don't know if it's a message from the universe, but I'm going to take it as such. And the messages have come in the form of focusing and paring down the places where I'm spending time. So one was on a blog post that I received a few days ago in my inbox about auditing the time that you're spending. So the recommendation was that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to make sure that there's this regular view of, hey, where are you spending your time? Are you spending your time in the right places? And then the second message I got was from an email from an email list that I'm on, and the person Derek Halpern. So his company is called Social Triggers, and he talked about the power of focusing on one thing and how he's been able to primarily focus on one thing per year over the last few years of his business, and how it's been really effective. And then thirdly, today I had a call with a marketing firm that helps people with their live streams. And I attended a webinar before Christmas, and then set up a call with their salespeople or consultant or whatever. And so the question he posed to me was, how are you spending your marketing time? And how are you spending, like, generally, what does your funnel look like? Or what is your strategy from a blogging versus Quora versus live stream versus LinkedIn? Like, what does that strategy look like? And as much as I'm working really hard to develop that strategy, I don't have it really clear in my mind. I don't have a really clear view of how I'm using Quora posts and converting those people to, LinkedIn contacts, for example, or how are people that are, viewing my stuff on LinkedIn, how am I getting them into a live stream environment? So I've got all of this activity that I'm generating for myself, and what it's causing for me is an expenditure of energy that is just sort of like brute force, hoping that something sticks, and I don't really have a clear strategy around this. So I've been thinking a lot about that today. That's what I woke up thinking about today, is how do I settle all of the noise that's around me that I've created for myself, and create for myself, like, what is my one area of focus? And so as an example, I started writing down, I went through my calendar today for this week and started mapping out, okay, these are places where I'm spending my time. So if I did a Quora post on Monday morning, that was about 3 hours of time. Then eventually reposting that onto LinkedIn and doing all the editing and all that, that's like roughly another hour. Doing these live streams every day, it's about 2 hours per week. Doing my coaching calls with the clients that I have. I do group coaching calls twice a week. They're an hour long. Plus there's the prep before, there's the all the work afterwards to get all that information onto the member site. That's 3 to 4 hours every week. So once you start adding up these hours, you realize that there are really only so many hours in the day. And so my focus today is to start doing that auditing and thinking about what would be the one place that I would want to spend my time. And my gut reaction, my gut feel, and probably where the answer will probably lie, is in doing more video and doing more live events. Because as I've been interacting with people, I do a lot of my sales calls with people on a video feed. So I use a peer.in or sometimes Skype if I need to, because I've found that when I'm actually talking and communicating with people, that's where I have been told I'm most effective and where I feel most comfortable. And so as much as I like the written word, the time cost for that is really high. And so I still want to continue to do some written work. I want to do a blog post a week on Quora, working on my book project, which will over time lead to much greater activity down the road. In the short run, meaning the next, say, 6 months, next 12 months, I think where I need to be spending my time is on really perfecting, or at least improving on how I'm using video. So whether that's doing video blogs, whether that's doing live streams related to sales content, as opposed to these live streams, which are just, kind of a look at how I'm working on a day-to-day basis, I feel like that's probably the place I'm going to go, and then everything else could trickle out of that. And so that's primarily been the big focus today, is focusing myself, paring down, trying to get to a point where I'm really clear, such that as I'm focusing my time, spending my time each and every day, I can ask myself whether or not that time that I'm spending is interesting but not useful, or is it time that's just getting wasted, or is it busy work because I feel like I need to do it, as opposed to activity that's directly going to lead to results for me or for my customers. So that's probably mentally the biggest focus area today and right now. Some other things I've been doing, just generally speaking, recorded a podcast this morning. So I do a weekly podcast recording, and this morning's topic was around the 10-day sales call challenge. And so you can look for that on iTunes in probably a week or two. Those podcasts those are fun for me. It's long form content. It's in a sense, I treat it as live, because I'm just sitting there and Robert is asking me questions and I'm giving answers and talking about how I do things from a tactical standpoint in a sales world. So doing that podcast, and we can get that done in about an hour. So we start at 10 and we are almost always done by 11. So it's just 1 hour of focus and getting that content out. And so anyway, so that was something I did this morning. And then later on today, getting my run in. So this is my 31-day consecutive day run challenge. So this is day number 7. So I got that done, and so happy to get that out of the way, and really just trying to settle my mind, settle my focus, making sure that I'm not trying to do everything that I can't do. We've got a lot of incomplete projects out there, a lot of projects that are at 60% done, 80% done, 90% done, and getting from that point to focus myself, focus Robert, focus the company, focus my efforts, everything that I'm doing just needs to be much more consolidated. So that is the work that I'm doing right now. So I can't think of anything else that's worth sharing at this point. Yeah, I think that's it. So as always, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you didn't make it this far, then maybe next time. So it's January 7th, Scott Sambucci, live stream, signing off. See ya.